Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh. Gauranga Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Pop mode, host mode, karaoke mode.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Gauranga Nityananda, 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 Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Baby.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So let's read a little bit here. Yeah. Let's read some Chaitanya Bhagavat, I think. Or Chaitanya, let's see. Bhakti Ratnakara, yes. Glorification of Vaishnava Prabhus. O my Lord, Gaurahari. O my Lord, Gaurahari. You are the abode.
Professional mode. Pop mode. Host mode.
You are the abode of auspiciousness. You are the abode of auspiciousness, which is as beautiful as the kirtan of Krishna. Hey, Tuka, welcome. You are the ocean of elegance, the bestower of a constant flow of devotion in a mountain of love, which is as bright as gold. Your beautiful features give soothing relief to the eyes of every living being, and you are mankind's salvation from all kinds of misfortune. You are the center of the Leela Vilas, and the life of all the devotees. Be kind to me. O my Prabhu Gopal Bhatta, the bee at the lotus feet of Sri Gaur. You are the sun which destroys the darkness of illusion, and the ocean of kindness, and the greatest of all Brahmins. You are the son of Venkat Bhatta, and a valuable ornament of divine love and devotion. You are the destroyer of worldly miseries, and the resort of happiness to the misery-stricken people. O Lord, save me. O my Prabhu Sri Gopal Bhatta, may be at the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu. Oops. A bee at the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu. You are most skillful devotee of the Lord. O my Prabhu Srinivas, whose complexion is as golden as Satchidananda. You are the king amongst all the Brahmins. Please bless me. I constantly worship the companions of Srinivas Prabhu, who is like the wishing tree of devotional love of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. My dear listeners, please repeatedly and joyfully hear Bhakti Ratnakara, which is the life of all Vaishnavas and the destroyer of all miseries and misfortune. Yeah, it's so wonderful. It was nice to see River reading today. You see her miseries being destroyed, and just by the truths the glories of Lord Chaitanya and the glories of the realizations about Lord Chaitanya by these fantastic devotees. Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, this glorification is so good. Glorification of Sri Gaurasundar and his companions. See, this is the great mercy in this Kali Yuga, is the Lord is through his disciplic line, his real line, really, is making companions. Isn't it nice to, for those who know what I'm talking about, isn't it nice to be a companion of the Lord? And he's your companion, man. God himself. You don't have his, everybody's, you have to go and see your friends in this world. But here, the Lord is your companion. You just call him and he's there. Lord Chaitanya gave that boon to Mother Sachi also. Told her, he said, don't worry, I'm going to take sannyas, but whenever you call me with your your desire to see me and want me, and I'll be there. I'll be there for you. Yeah. You don't have to have physical presence. You have spiritual presence is better than physical presence, isn't it? Yeah, to get the Lord's spiritual presence. Therefore, there's no time space problem. Because spiritually, there's no. You call the Lord and He comes, man. That's all you're gonna get here from me. From being a disciple or a well-wisher here. And the only thing you're gonna get, you're gonna call the Lord, He's gonna come, and you're gonna tell me. You're gonna be very happy. You won't get the happiness Bill Gates would get, or any of these gurus if they don't have this power. And I don't think of them. They have to come here if they want this power. They have to see that this is important. To be able to call the Lord, and then there's no time or space continuum. He's just there, because spiritually there's no problem with space or time or physical. It's spiritual, man. Yeah. It's amazing. This is a great glorification, and this book is fantastic. I haven't read it enough. We need to read it more. I used to read this all the time, man. I'm going to read it more now. All glories to Sri Krishna Chaitanya, the God of gods, who was a lover of devotion, and whose beautiful features fascinated the whole world. Lover of devotion. He was a lover. This was the Lord. He came here, He loved devotion. He knew its importance and its value. Just like Radharani, she knows the value of devotion. This all comes from her. Today I have an old friend, 30 years. He's a yogi, man. He's still a yogi after 30 years. Dedicated to Hatha Yoga, man, And I was telling him a little bit of the glories of devotion and bhakti. He said, how can this bhakti? He said, what is this? How can you be free of karma? There's no way you can be free of karma. I've never heard of that before. Just by bhakti, you can be free of karma. No, so you see, it's a karma, he believed in karma. I said, he doesn't know. See, Lord Chaitanya came, he was a lover of devotion because it destroys karma. It's the strongest medicine in this world, the strongest healing in this world you can get by the awakening of this devotion. He came and brought the best thing, offered it to the world as a gift. Even now, we're offering this gift of devotion. Okay? The Lord has given this into the hands of his devotees. It's their spiritual hand. They handle it. They're handling this devotion, and they handle the devotional program in the world. Lord has many servants, huh? So his real devotees, who are real associates of Lord Chaitanya, they handle the devotion department. So we're part of the devotion department. Hey, Andromeda, welcome, man. Just talking about the glories of Lord Chaitanya and his associates. He's the God of gods. Yeah. who was a lover of devotion and whose beautiful features fascinated the whole world. Yeah, bodily features fascinating, but also his features. You know, features mean qualities. His qualities fascinated the world. They're very, were amazing. They're fascinating. You know, River was reading in the Chaitanya Bhagavat. She came across a verse, and I said, "Oh my God, that's what's going on here." You know, the devotee was glorifying Lord Chaitanya as a supreme autocrat. You know, he did what he wanted. He did what he wished. There was no, if he wanted to be humble, he was humble. If he wanted to be arrogant, he was arrogant. If he wanted to be so truthful that would break the bonds of all kinds of illusion, he did it. Did whatever he felt like doing. And I was thinking, my God, man, he's put that one on me. Because I feel the same. You know, do you notice that quality here? Like father, like son. You know, they call it. There's nobody like like this. You know, I also it fascinates me. I just, why am I acting like this? Why don't I just, I poo-poo everything, just do what I want, say what I want. Challenge gurus, challenge the best of them, or the biggest ones, or at least the ones the world thinks. See, this is the qualities of the Lord. He uses his devotees to express them. Especially if you want to understand the Leela of Lord Chaitanya, you have to have it reenacted again. See, so people can see those kind of qualities. See, they're manifested in the person of the devotee, his real associates. See? So this is taught in the pastime where Lord Chaitanya couldn't go to um, Navadweep, to give his darshan to his devotees there. So he said, "Oh, I can't go. My mother has told me to stay here." So he sends Jagadananda Pandit, who is very close to Lord Chaitanya, literally, spiritually close, and physically too. So you can imagine, how much he was a representative of Lord Chaitanya. So he goes to Navadweep and he sees the devotees there, and in Chaitanya Charitamrita it says it was almost, well, it was just like having Lord Chaitanya there. He was such a representative of those qualities of the Lord because of his intimacy and closeness with Lord Chaitanya. Yeah. So they didn't want to let him out of the house. Every house he went to, they just wanted to lock the door and not let him go. Yeah. See, if you find a real associate of the Lord, the moral of the story is, if you find a real associate of the Lord, that's how you're going to learn about the actual characteristics of Lord Chaitanya, because to a degree you'll see them on the characteristics of the devotee. They're uncommon. They're different. That's why you see they have the greatest devotion of all the devotees, unless you get it from them. This is chapter 1 of Adi Lila. It says the real spiritual master, the real associate of Lord Chaitanya is the greatest devotee. They have the greatest devotion and the greatest intelligence of all the devotees, because it's the Lord empowering them with his intelligence, his devotion. And then if you're going to have it, you get it from them. Just like here, there's devotees here that have even more devotion awakening. It's amazing. At least, or as much, you could say. At least. Just like Lord Chaitanya ordered Nityananda to show the crazy, same as Srila Prabhupada ordered you to show this real bhakti. Yeah. Just like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's a wonderful time, man. It's It's a great gift and benediction for the Vaishnavas here, you know. And some devotee just contacted me today. Well, actually, last week I didn't read the message because he wasn't a friend, so it goes in a separate area. Let me read that. I'll read you what he wrote. It was so beautiful, so amazing. I'm just going to take a chance. Usually I would ask him first, but I'm just going to do it. I'm sure if he wrote it to me, I'd be careful to write to me. It's public, usually. Okay, I'll read you what he wrote. It's very interesting, very beautiful. So you may see him here. This is the kind of devotees that we're here to help. Okay. Where is he? Where is he? Oh. Let's see if I can find it again. Oh, there he is. Okay. Okay, so he writes, "Hi, I just saw a video of yours doing japa, followed by a discourse. It really surprised me to see a perfect stranger have the same emotions of crying and laughing while reciting Krishna's names. This is what is happening to me on a regular basis, yet I have kept it secret for so many years. I am glad that it is happening to others like you, and it makes me happy. Bless you. In my case, it started happening after a divine being and his consort came to me in a lucid dream and initiated me by revealing my spiritual form. And from then on, after reading the Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, mystical experiences as well as a devotional bhavs have entered my life. Without knowing what to do, I have not grasped the depth of the experiences that followed and still don't believe myself to be qualified. As I lived like this for a number of years, trying to get answers from others more qualified than me, I realized that basically I had never met bhaktas in my life, and I have hidden everything for fear I could be ridiculed and taken for mad. It has been difficult to pretend that nothing happened, yet there is a longing in my heart to reveal my feelings to others, even though I am shy and very much alone. Does this mean that I have to wait till one day when this lucid dream happens for real? I keep having the same feelings, but I suppress them because I can't deal with the outer commotion of the outside public. It's like a creeping inner voice who tells me to continue, yet outside I feel people are so aggressive and they scare my heart. What is your advice to me?" Now, isn't that amazing? Isn't that uncommon? See, there are people out there. He just came across, he wasn't even a friend. He came across the video. Let's see here. Yeah. So it was a beautiful sharing. So anyway, I added him as a friend. Yeah, I added him as a friend, and let's see, he can come. See, Prabhupada gave me that instruction is mainly for devotees who want this kind of shelter where they can be themselves or awaken this bhakti. Or if they have it awakened already, they can cultivate it here, with a free expression, nobody coming down on their case. It's beautiful, isn't it? So we have a mission here. Yeah. So yeah. Back to Bhakti Ratnakara. Mm. So I'm gonna skip and find some lila here. So the character of Gopal Bhatta. I mean, these qualities of real devotees are so auspicious. They're so powerful. Yeah, that person sounds very amazing. This is not a one lifetime deal for this guy. He's just, yeah. So let's see. He should. I bet he comes. Let's see. So, nevertheless, the character of Gopal Bhatta. Nevertheless, I shall attempt to describe the character of Gopal, who was always engaged in the service of Mahaprabhu. He was not he was not satisfied to see Mahaprabhu as an ascetic, but he lamented privately. He addressed Providence with a choked voice. O Providence, why was I born in this faraway place? Actually, let's go before this here. Show you where he. We'll just continue. This is one of the companions of Lord Chaitanya. He addressed Providence with a choked voice. Oh, Providence, why was I born in this faraway place? Why have you forced me to see Mahaprabhu in the dress of an ascetic and deprived me from observing his pastimes in Nadia? How cruel you are to allow him the life of a renunciate when I long to see him as Rajendra Nandana. The Lord of Sri Radha, the Lord of Sri Radhika, the Lord of Sri Radhika. Lamenting in this way, he wept like a madman and breathed a heavy sigh, as hot as fire. Lamenting in this way, he wept like a madman and breathed heavy sigh, as hot as fire. Having spent himself in lamentation, forgiving Providence, Gopal then lamented that the ill fortune was his own fault. Having spent himself in lamentation, Gopal remained reticent, yet Gaurahari could understand the state of Gopal's mind. When Gopal fell asleep, the Lord of Navadvip appeared to him in a dream. Lord Gaurasunder strolling through the streets of Navadvip, and he was there with him, Nityananda and Advaita took him lovingly in their arms, but when they were about to tell him something, he awoke up from his sleep. Gopal looked around in bewilderment and then went impatiently to find Sri Gaur. Mahaprabhu was delighted and revealed himself in the form of a cowherd boy with a blue complexion. The divine beauty remained but a few moments, and the blue complexion turned golden. The glow of Gaura's Sunday's beauty. The glow of Gaura's Sunday's beauty. The glow of Gaurasunda's beauty enchanted the universe. How beautiful was that hair that had curled around his shoulders? How beautiful was that hair that curled around his shoulders? His forehead was decorated by Vaishnava tilak. His eyebrows were dramatically raised, and his magnificent glance stole the hearts of all the ladies. His beauty, his beautiful face defeated the pride of the autumn moon, and his smile showered nectar. His beautiful face defeated the pride of the autumn moon, and his smile showered nectar. And his smile showered nectar. His beautiful dhoti was wrapped in three folds and decorated with various ornaments. His gestures and postures were fascinating, and the garland of malati flowers hanging from Nimai's neck enchanted Gopal. He fell to the feet of Mahaprabhu and again looked at his face with expectation. But the Lord had resumed his ecstatic form, his ascetic form. Mahaprabhu, Gaurachandra, pacified Gopal and gave him direct instructions. He ordered him to go to Vrindavan as soon as possible, for there he would meet two valuable jewels, named Rupa and Sanata. For there he would meet two valuable jewels, Rupa and Sanata. For there he would meet two valuable jewels, Rupa and Sanata. Tell them about my desire. Tell them about my desire, said Mahaprabhu. In Vrindavan you will get many disciples from all over the world. Having instructed Gopal, Mahaprabhu took him in his lap and soaked his body with tears from his own eyes. Having instructed Gopal, Mahaprabhu took him in his lap and soaked his body with tears from his own eyes. Mahaprabhu advised Gopal to keep the instructions confidential and not discuss them with anyone. Gopal was very happy with that. Sri Venkatbhatta was satisfied seeing the sincerity with which Gopal served Gauranga. Sri Venkatbhatta was satisfied seeing the sincerity with which Gopal served Sri Gauranga. He dedicated his son to the gracious feet of Lord Gaurchandra and became truly happy. He dedicated his son to the gracious feet of Lord Gaurchandra and became truly happy. Thereafter, Gopal spent his days and nights with Sri Gaurahari. The thought that Mahaprabhu would leave their house after 4 months made the three brothers morose. Trimal, Venkat, and Sri Prabodhanandana wondered how they could spend their days without Mahaprabhu. Who will joke with us? They said to each other. Who will accompany us when we bathe in the river Kabari? Who will perform Sankirtan in the temple of Raghunath? And who will give worthless fellows like us the gem of devotion? Without Mahaprabhu's presence, these crowds will all disperse, and the holy place shall be vacant. Though tears streamed silently down their faces, they did not disclose their worries to anyone. At the end of the scheduled 4 months, when Mahaprabhu actually left their houses, they cried out in despair. And as the Lord left their house, the bhattas fell on the ground at his feet. Mahaprabhu pacified the three brothers by embracing them affectionately. After pacifying Gopal, Mahaprabhu continued on his southern tour. At last he reached Nilachal, where he met his associates and devotees. He visited Gauda and Vrindavan, where he also met many of his devotees. The great ascetic Sri Krishna Chaitanya gratified the Kali Yuga with the help of his devotees. The great ascetic Sri Krishna Chaitanya gratified the Kali Yuga with the help of his devotees. Wherever he went, he informed his devotees that he had decided to stay in Nilachal. But in South India, Venkat Bhatta and his two brothers grew morose because of the separation from Sri Chaitanya. In the absence of his master, Gopal's state of mind was beyond description. He reflected on that moment of separation when Mahaprabhu had assured him that his desires would soon be fulfilled. He thought that Mahaprabhu's promise to take him to Vrindavan. Gopal remained absorbed in love of Sri Gauranga, and his time and his fame in explaining devotional doctrines began to spread throughout the country. His pleasure was derived from spreading the glories of Sri Gauranga and defeating the views of the illusionists. See, isn't that funny? It's the same program, you know, spreading uh, spreading the glories of Lord Chaitanya and His mercy. See, and defeating the views. See, the view view is what the illusionists see. See, the illusionists and the different doctrines, Buddhism, even Christianity in that sense, as it is, they need to. There's illusions in there. There's illusions in it, practically everything. But Lord Chaitanya, he brought the best of all doctrines. This love of God, love of Krishna, and the deep insights into truths about God. Because of this devotion is so pure and so deep that the realizations are so amazing. See, so um, being in this line, we do the same thing: defeat spread the glories of Lord Chaitanya and this great, fantastic mercy he's giving, and also defeat the illusionists, and that includes being in religion, in ISKCON, in Gaudiya Samiti, Gaudiya Math. There's illusions there, you know. Yeah. So we spend our time helping the devotees. Matter of fact, Bhakti Vinod Thakur said, he said, it's the duty of real Vaishnavas. If you're elevated, if you're elevated by this mercy of Lord Chaitanya, it's the duty of such Vaishnavas who have such mercy to pluck out the anarthas in their disciplic line. See, and so the anarthas in our line. See, the anarthas, the unwanted obstacles or problems, is basically, people, they don't have a clear idea of Guru Tattva, you know. So we help them here. We just point out, based on the scriptures, what is Guru Tattva? Who is a real guru? What is the real goal of Krishna consciousness, which is spontaneous love of God? How can one attain that goal quickly? See, all these topics we study here, 365 days a year. The glories of devotion. See? Not just in name, but in feeling. Uh, Educated people eulogized Gopal Bhatta and wonder how he had gained so much knowledge so easily. See, this is, haven't I been preaching this? How do you gain so much knowledge so easily? See, by becoming an associate and associating closely with Lord Chaitanya. So we do that by mantra. We do that every day. When you get Bhakti Lata Bij from the real guru here, see, you become in, increasingly attracted to the transcendental qualities of Lord Chaitanya, and by relishing that closeness and tasting the glories of that, and tasting this bhakti, and having the awakening of this love for this Gaur Prem and Radha Krishna devotion, see, you become just naturally a scholar, natural by nature. You get real Vedanta from bhakti. See? Bhakti reveals the Vedanta in the books. You start to look at the books, these great treasures of knowledge and information, and you begin to understand them because of devotion. Otherwise, that's how you become a great scholar. It's not about study. You don't become a great or really great scholar by study. You become a superficial scholar just by study. See? And then with devotion, you become a realized scholar. You realize by personal experience and encounters with the Supreme Lord. Hey, Lalita, welcome. Yeah, I'm reading this great book. You would love this book, man. I think I got to figure out how to send it to you guys. You're gonna fight. I should sell this book to you. It's worth at least $1 million. If you got $1 million, I'll give to you this book. Otherwise, you can't have it. This book is worth at least $1 billion, and I'll just sell it to you for $1 million. So Lalita and Janaki, I know, and Shama, I'll tell you what I'll do. You guys, just all between you three, you guys chip in, just come up with $1 million, and I'll send you this wonderful book. It's that great, man. You're gonna find a treasure that you won't believe. This is one of the greats. I don't think any of you have read it yet. Just $1 million. Just everybody chip in, and you should be able to do it. Ah, just joking. We'll figure out how to get you this book. We'll get it over to you. Copies somehow or other. I'll figure out how to send it. Yeah, it's an electronic copy, so we can probably send it. So Shama Sundari got her microphone today. It said it was delivered, so it's at your house if you haven't seen it. Yeah. Ah. Somebody said the credit goes to Prabodhanandana, who has educated him since his childhood. No one can match the learning of Gopal Bhatta, who certainly gained his knowledge through the earnest efforts of his uncle. Somebody else said, because of his vast learning, Prabodhanandana has earned the title Sarasvati. Someone else said, whether awake or sleeping, he never thinks of anyone but his Lord Krishna Chaitanya. According to Hari Bhaktivilas, Gopal Bhatta, the disciple of Sri Prabodhanandana and the favorite devotee of Lord Gora Sundar, is compiling the book Sri Hari Bhaktivilas. Having satisfied Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. A renunciate in worldly matters, Sri Gopal Bhatta was both affectionate and poetic. He was an expert in singing, playing musical instruments, and dancing. The book of verse compiled by Sri Gopal Bhatta, for which Prabodhana should be given first credit, uses use to enchant both the readers and listeners. In this way, everyone praised Sri Prabodhanandana and Gopal, his nephew, who was highly learned and kind-hearted. Sri Gopal took serious responsibility in looking after his parents, who were always satisfied with him. Once a Brahmin told Sri Venkant Bhatta, "You must be proud to be the father of a son who is an illustrious in every way. I have never seen such deep devotion as your son exhibits, nor such submission towards parents." See, that deep devotion is this kind of devotion here, this spontaneous devotion. See, you got that as a gift from association with Lord Chaitanya. See, and then had got the power to share it with others. See, this is how Lord Chaitanya keeps his line going. And if such devotees disappear, then at some point he'll send his devotees again. They'll come. And then they start it again. We're starting here again. Started with like Bhakti Vinod Thakur, see, and then Bhakti Siddhanta and Prabhupada, and then here now. See? This keeps the line, the real line going. Unless you see these kinds of symptoms you see here that agree with the verdicts of all these books that we have, then this kind of devotion is not here and not being given out. See? It's got to be shared with people. People have to see it. People learn about its glories. See? From experienced devotees who are actually relishing and tasting this kind of bhakti, which is right now, very, very, very rare. Okay? So don't ever lose faith in what's going on here. No matter, even if 1,000 devotees in ISKCON or they come as delegations, this is crazy what's going on here. No, this is just rare. They don't see this just everywhere. I'll do a little bit more, but I'm going to stop soon. This is very intense. Very intense. Got to take a break. So Venkat Bhatta was delighted to tell the Brahmin about Gopal's lifelong endurance to be a great man. Gopal had eagerly anticipated seeing Lord Jagannath in Nilachal, and at the same time he was interested in learning Vyankana and other scriptures. Sri Venkat Bhatta also told the Brahmin how his son Gopal had shown sincerity in serving Sri Chaitanya, the absolute being. And the Brahmin enjoyed the stories about Gopal and admired Sri Venkat Bhatta for being the happy father of such a fine son. Thereafter, the Brahmin returned home. The parents of Gopal were certainly fortunate to have such a son who had fully dedicated himself to the gracious feet of Sri Chaitanya. They gladly permitted their son to go to Vrindavan, and thereafter they uttered the name of Mahaprabhu and left the world forever. See? Left the world forever. See? This is the boon the devotees get from Lord Chaitanya. This is the boon your devotees are getting here. You're going to leave this world forever, this birth and death. You may come back if you want, be attracted here because of Lord Chaitanya and become a preacher. Yeah. But you'll leave this world forever as one of the conditioned souls. You're set free. Okay? This is the door here, isn't it? Yeah. You can feel it if it is, man. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you heard, Lalita, with that letter I wrote, or not that the devotee wrote. So you might want to watch this over and see that, or anybody else. Maybe Shama Sundari missed it too, or anybody else. Read what this devotee wrote to me. You'd be quite surprised. I wrote it on the air here. So just watch the replay part. Yeah, I am going to stop now. I need to stop. This is very intense. Yeah. Okay. So see y'all later, huh? Thanks for coming. Hare Krishna. All glories to Lord Chaitanya. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Jesus. All glories to all the associates of Lord Chaitanya and Radha and Krishna and all our exalted audience here.